He's an incredible singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and a producer. Come on, Austin Giorgio, it's good to have you in, man.
Thanks for having me here.
You know, after listening to your music and going through your catalog, I feel like I know you already, but it's like you're like a heartthrob with like the women.
Ooh,
it's you.
Hey now.
I know, right?
Oh, I appreciate
this
it.
is how you sell out all these concerts all across the U.S. and going to be kicking off another tour maybe later in the year.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, and we got to talk about this album because I can't get enough of this, Austin. Chronicles of the Darkest Hour, Part 1.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I went through there and I found like all these songs, and I was talking with you about it, to where your voice, man, is so rich, but it's been like an evolution from like your previous albums and songs you've done, like for 24 and 23, and you know, but it seems like you're really hitting your niche now.
Yeah, you start finding your strides. You know, we were talking about guitars. You start to find that tone you like. It's been a progression of finding like what I want to put out lyrically, and then also sonically, like what am I trying to add to the world, I guess.
Well, you know, and you started out as a piano player as a child, and then you know got into the singing. You know, in between, you know, also working with antiques and everything, kind of the family business. Yeah. But then, man, the music bug bit you in 2017, and you're like, this is it.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, so that's when I got started.
Yeah.
And it actually took me a while after I got off of the show there to figure out that was what I was going to do. Because even then I was still thinking, oh, I could just play this music and tie it to antiques. Right. And I was like, oh, maybe I should do music for a living.
Well, I got to bring this up too, Austin. Or your dad, you know, is a jazz singer and musician, so he was like rooted in, you know, Sinatra and you know, and so many of the other greats, and also Buble. But it's like, you know, it's funny listening to your music, man. You got this great pop sense, and you got incredible instrumentation, but then you got kind of that sultry voice thing going.
Yeah, well, you know what? So my father's a lot into jazz. He also loved Billy Joel, later stuff. Yeah. And then my mom.
You guys were New Yorkers. You can't hate on Billy.
No. Every corner you go, it's Billy. But grew up on that. My mother loved Cher. She got me into a lot of different types of music. And then my sister, she got me. You know, I was like 13, listening to like Bow Wow and like early 2000s R&B. So I was gonna like find love for sure in a club. Yeah. Oh. But I'm like 12. I'm obviously not. And so like, when you put all those together, it makes sense why I make the music I make. And this is a recent revelation I've stumbled on. Right. So it's like this crooner black tie music that's sensual, but then has some like deeper undertones that aren't talked about in like the American songbook, the taboos of relationships. Sometimes.
No, totally. But also, man, you know, it was so interesting to me to find out, you know, that you produce this stuff. You have your own studio, and with the instrumentation. But when you guys go out on the road, I mean, you're an entertainer. I mean, you know, and I mean that in the best possible way, to where you're not just up there, you know, standing holding the mic. It's like you work the crowd.
Yeah, I take 1s, 5s, whatever they throw. I mean, I'll
well, you know, it's like you were big in L.A. I'm just saying, you got people in L.A. going, bring Austin back. You've sold out all the merch. You got to make new merch.
I know. We got to make new merch. Excited for that, for what's coming later this year. So.
And also, I've heard rumors that an international tour again.
Yes, I went over to Europe for the first time last year, which was a ball, and those were. Half of them were sold out, and the crowd there is crazy. Yeah. Like everyone over there is super energetic. So this year we're gonna go back there. We gotta figure out where we're gonna go.
You know, one of the most interesting things I learned about you, Austin, was how much you love books. Yeah. And it's like, you know, and kind of your style of music has been called like dark romance, but it's like also you're a heavy reader, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, so I grew up. I read a lot of like fiction stuff as a kid. Like there's a book called Aragon. I used to like love these like dragon books and blah blah blah. Got older, started reading business books, self-help, and now I've gone full circle back to fiction books, and it makes sense for my lifestyle. Like a lot of it, you get lost in the writing and like these stories. And it's funny when I'm writing these songs, you know, whatever, like we were talking about, whatever I'm reading at the time, it kind of bleeds into each other. Right. You know.
Well, and I got to bring this up also with the songs and everything, and so many great songs on here. I know Part 2 is going to release maybe later this year.
Later this year, yeah.
Are you doing co-writes, or are you just writing all the songs by yourself? How's that working?
Yeah, totally. So I originally started. Like I think up until like a year and a half ago, it was mostly myself. Yeah. And then I learned the more you get smart people in the room with you, the better things get. So I'm working with some incredible co-writers, incredible co-producers. I can name a bunch, but I don't want to just focus on one or two. They're all incredible.
You leave somebody out, you're in trouble.
Right, they're gonna kill me. but they know who they are.
Yeah.
So they help make these songs. They are every part of these songs as I am.
Well, going through the songs too, with this album, and I know it's done incredible, and the Spotify list, just the listenership that you have on there for all the new songs and your past songs, like Put a Spell on Me. But, it's like there's just depth. When I listen to your music, I hear the depth of your voice and the lyrics, and it's like, you can tell you mean them.
Yeah.
That you're coming across honest, but also it's like you get to go out and take some Martin guitars out. You got your Rolly keyboard at home.
That's right.
You're having some good times making music. This is working out, and now you're a Nashvilleian.
That's right.
And so all the family is moving out of New York to Nashville.
We gotta get them down here. They're coming down, and we're going to your house. We're looking at antiques.
Because Pop's going to open like a new antique place down here. So it's like we're bringing the whole family in.
That's right.
Bringing New York to Nashville.
That's right. That's a headline. But yeah.
I think it's so great, man. It's like, but your music has certainly found a lot of people, a lot of listeners and fans. Also, don't you think it's a matter of time before your music is used like in movies and TV shows too? Because it seems like, listen to it, Austin, it lends itself to that.
Yeah, totally. When I'm writing these songs, a lot of them are, whether it's actual experiences or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Those things go through my mind at those moments. I totally could see these in like Netflix series, whatever it is, right. Those like big moments.
I'm surprised people haven't even started reaching out to you already going, hey, Austin, can we use this song? We need to open up this movie with this.
Yeah, the line's open.
It's kind of like also, I think at a point you're going to have to get into books, writing books.
I don't know.
There needs to be like a whole Austin series of books, like romance novels.
I don't know if I'm talented enough to do that.
I think you are.
I say that.
You write songs, you play multiple instruments, you produce.
I think it's so different. Like when I read from what these authors, how they come up with these stories. A song, you got to rhyme it and have a story in 3 minutes and under. On a book, I can't remember what I said yesterday. To plan something that much, I have no idea how to
I don't know. I think you're more creative than you give yourself credit, because you take a song in 3 minutes and grab people and own them, and particularly with all of the fans coming to your shows, selling out all these shows. That's why I wanted to get you on the show now, just so you'd remember us and come back on the show when everything explodes in the next year or so. And it's like going, okay, well, will Austin come back? Well, we don't know, Eric. He's kind of, in the Taylor Swift realm now.
Who are you?
Eric who? Yeah, we get that a lot with the Rock Revie, but that's okay.
Please. No, you are unforgettable. Thanks for seriously.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I love the music. I want to make sure for our viewers and your fans and the new fans that they have your website, your social media. You got great social media. You know how to tease and promote. Where do they need to go for everything you got going on?
So it's my name backwards. It's Giorgio. What camera am I looking at?
Right there.
Here. It's Giorgio Austin. So it's my name backwards, and then my website's austingiorgiomusic.com. And they can pirate my music if they don't have money. You can stream it on YouTube, Spotify, whatever.
Got a great website, social media, everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
And new merch is being made by people in the back of the TV station right now to get ready for the next tour.
That's right. Keep going. No, people that do make my merch are incredible. They're based here in Nashville. 2 of them, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you got all the connections.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see you live and in concert. I think you also, once again, I'm going to throw this out there, is you need to do like a stripped down version with just like acoustic.
Oh, yeah. I think you're talking. You might be saying something you don't even know yet.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because I think your songs, and once again, so many great songs on this, and I want to make sure our viewers add the entire album, Chronicles of the Darkest Hour, Part 1. Add it all to your playlist, because there are so many songs on there you're going to love. I can't wait to hear the next stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, thanks so much.
And follow him on social media. Like I said, listen to the songs, get the entire, and it's also on vinyl. And I'm hoping Part 2 will be too. Austin Giorgio, check him out. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much, Eric.